Dele, it's good to see you.
Good afternoon.
So
we're now in front of the National Assembly. Initially, they were not allowed to go into the National Assembly, and there was a protest in front of the gates here. But of course, as you see behind me, the gates have now been opened for the protesters, and they're making their way straight to the front of the National Assembly complex. So there's a bit of traffic because the protesters had blocked the front gates of the National Assembly, demanding that they must go in to the National Assembly. Initially, we had been told that the security agencies had told the leadership of the labor unions that they should stay and address their supporters and their members in front of the Ministry of Justice, where we reported earlier. But the labor leaders insisted, and then they came here. But of course, by the time they got here, the gates were locked. So there was a mild protest here. In fact, some members began to shake the gates of the National Assembly. But eventually, the gates have been opened, and they've been allowed to go straight into the front of the National Assembly complex.
All right, Dele, so has there been any official to address the protesters after they gained access into the National Assembly complex?
Yes, we have the president of the NLC, Joe Ajaero, the national president of the TUC, Festus Osifo, and the former national president of the NLC, Mr. Ayuba Waba, all here. And of course, they're expected to address the members of the unions in front of the complex. Of course, they're hoping that the leadership of the National Assembly will also attend to them when we get into the National Assembly complex. Of course, you're aware that the ministerial screening is happening right now, and the president of the Senate, we hear, is already seated in the chamber. So perhaps he may come out to address the members of the NLC.
All right. So what do you suppose would be the plan of the unionists should the members of the leaders of the National Assembly be unable to come out to address them? Are they going to depart from the National Assembly complex? Or are they going to retain the protests inside the National Assembly complex? I'm asking what happens from there should the leaders of the National Assembly fail to address the protesting members.
Bukola, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dele. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, so tell us what you suppose would happen should any leader of the National Assembly fail to address the protesters.
Okay, well, they're just making their way to the front of the complex right now. So hopefully, like I said, the leadership of the Senate is inside here because they're screening ministerial nominees. So hopefully, once they get to the front of the complex, perhaps the president of the Senate may definitely come out to address them.
All right. We'll keep tabs with you to see what's happening, what becomes of that protest there at the National Assembly complex. Our correspondent, Dele Omoyeni, reporting from outside the National Assembly in the FCT.